Most people don't burn out because they're lazy. They burn out because they planned a life their nervous system can't sustain and they got overwhelmed. Hi, muses! Welcome back to my channel where we talk about how women can have their cake and eat it too. I'm Nadeen, and this space is about rebuilding the village women once had so we can have the right conversations and create lives that feel as good as they look. Please like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss anything. So many of you loved my video on your 2026 greatest comeback, so I wanted to go deeper and share how I actually plan my year in a way that feels calm, spacious, and doable, and not based on who I wish I had the energy to be, because most planning advice is very rigid, very structured, very masculine. It assumes that we have linear energy, constant motivation, unlimited capacity, but most women don't live like that. And even if we try to, we burn out fast. And if you're watching this, you're probably an ambitious girly who is also sensitive and deliberate. You want more out of life, but done with ease, which means you don't need more pressure and tasks to do and more plans. You need alignment. So this is the system I use to plan out my year without burning out, and it completely changed the way that I move through life. As always, we don't gatekeep, so let's step into it. Let's start with why traditional yearly planning doesn't work. Most people plan their year by listing everything they want to achieve without accounting for how they'll actually feel while doing it. So they plan all their goals, all the habits they want to adopt, all the upgrades to their lives, but none of the capacity. How many of you have thought, if I just had more energy, I'd stick to it? If I just had more time, I'd do it. Or you skip out on things you need to do because you're tired or unmotivated. And then when your energy dips or life happens, you think something is wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with you, baby girl. Your plan just didn't take into account that you're not a machine. You're human. The biggest shift I made was when I stopped planning my year solely around outcomes and started planning around alignment. Alignment meaning how much energy you realistically have, accounting for this if this is something you also want to work on, what season of life you're in, what your nervous system is capable of holding, and what pace actually feels sustainable to you. Because once you plan from alignment, consistency stops feeling like discipline and starts feeling natural. So here's how I plan my year. I divide my year into 4 internal seasons, not calendar seasons, but emotional and energetic ones. You're always in one of these seasons, no matter what month it is. Stillness, becoming, expansion, integration. And here's a mini refresher. Stillness is where you reflect and get clarity. Becoming is where you experiment and build courage. Expansion is where your energy peaks and effort compounds. And integration is where you stabilize and maintain what you've built. If you want a deeper explanation on these seasons, you can go watch my video on how to change your life in 30 days. You physically cannot live in expansion all year round. If you're into energetics, this is pulling from your masculine energy 24/7, 365 days a year. You will burn out. Here's where this becomes practical. Instead of overwhelming yourself with dozens of goals, give each month one theme, one word, one focus, one energetic priority. This word becomes your filter for the month. If something supports it, it's a yes. If it's against it, it's a no. For example, early in the year, I use themes like reset, self-trust, and standards because that's a stillness season for me. Later, I shift into themes like courage and momentum when my energy naturally supports action. Let me give you 2 concrete examples. During my stillness season, I focus on reset, self-trust, and standards. January is reset. We're not fixing ourselves here. We're clearing out noise and making room. Decluttering, reflecting, reviewing last year, planning, doing our vision boards, and resting. February is self-trust. This is where consistency begins. We're keeping small promises to ourselves, showing up and doing the bare minimum if that's what our energy calls for. No big changes yet. This is where you build the mental strength to actually believe you can do what you want to do. March is standards. We're sharpening your discernment. Where can you set better boundaries? How can you choose better? Where can you refine your expectations so you feel like you're actually succeeding? I have a free newsletter series where I will be sending out a newsletter on the first of each month with the theme and the tips to implement and the activities you can do to keep you on track with your yearly progress, because I really want us to succeed together. You can sign up using the Inner Circle link in the description box below if you want to be part of this. Now, during my becoming season, which is April to June, I focus on courage, momentum, and embodiment. The sun is coming out, the flowers are blooming, overall energy is higher. April is courage. Here's where I would challenge myself to try new ideas, start small, take small risks. You're testing the waters here and getting out of your comfort zone just a little bit. May is momentum. We're repeating what works and building rhythm. We're tracking our streaks now with a habit tracker, not aiming for perfection, but just showing up consistently. You found a meal prep recipe you like, stick to it. Workout routine that makes you feel good, do it Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Don't reinvent what's working for you, and no overthinking, just doing. June is embodiment. This is where you stop proving and just start being. You have the habits down, you have your routines, you've taken the baby steps towards your goals. You're pretty much that girl already, but we need to let your nervous system get used to being her. So continue acting and making decisions from that place of your future self. The struggle is real here because subconsciously your old self and new self is battling it out, okay? You'll catch yourself negotiating with yourself to not do what you're supposed to do. Just 10 more minutes. Not doing skincare is okay tonight. We can skip leg day. We don't have to post today. No. Stop it. This is very important. So let me say this clearly because someone needs to hear it. There will be moments where you fall off, but you do not fail a month. You do not restart your whole life because 1 week went sideways. You do not talk down to yourself and kick yourself for not doing something. You simply come back to the theme. You set buffers. You create mini crisis plans. Miss the gym? What can you do before that happens? What can you do in place of it so you still get some movement? Skipped a routine? Reflect. Did you just need rest or did you start negotiating with yourself? Observe and study yourself. That's how you grow. Tough love might work short term, but long term, it destroys your self-trust and you start seeing yourself as weak or incapable, and eventually you just stop trying. And I know this personally because growing up with a tiger Asian mom, her voice became mine, as did the criticism, and it took me years to rewire my negative self-talk. You cannot criticize and hate yourself into your dream life. Your future self is built with TLC, tender love and care, okay? We're talking to ourselves the way our future selves would, and that's loving, kind, supportive, and emotionally regulated. The second half of the year will be in a different video because as annoying as it is, I know, I don't want you girls thinking that far ahead right now and be stuck in perpetual thinking and planning state. You already have more than enough to work with. And just remember, you don't need a perfect plan. You need a kind one that meets you where you are and gently guides you forward. This year isn't about doing more. It's about choosing better and acting from alignment so you don't burn out halfway through becoming the woman you're meant to be. I hope this gave you clarity, and I hope it gave you permission to be more gentle with yourself, move slower and smarter. That's all the cake I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching until the end. I appreciate it so much. And if you enjoyed our little talk today, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment to share your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next episode.